Hello students, welcome to the exam rat. So today we are going to discuss our second chapter for geometry unit 4, that is chapter number 10, circles. Okay, so we have also studied a little bit of circle in our class 9th lessons, but here also we are going to study a little bit of circles. There are only two theorems which are present in this particular chapter, and in this particular chapter you are going to learn about a new term called tangent and secant also, right? So before that, for more such videos you can go through our website and subscribe, and in case of any doubts and queries you can just let us know by commenting. So if you are new to our platform, please visit our website, it will be worth. Okay, so let's just start with our first chapter, second chapter of geometry, that is chapter number 10, circles. Okay, so basically in this chapter we are going to learn about two theorems of the circles and the related questions to it, and the new terms the circle include is tangent and secant. Okay, so let's just understand in more detail about these two terms. So this is, let's just have a look on this table. So this is picture number 1, picture number 2 and picture number 3. As you can see in picture number 1, the straight line PQ, it does not touch any side of the circle, right? It doesn't touch any side of the circle. There is no common point between the circle and the straight line. Thus the number of point of intersection is 0, and this particular line is known as the non-intersecting line. Okay, this is what we called as the non-intersecting line. Now let's move ahead. You can have a look on this picture. The straight line PQ that touches the circle with center O, and it is touching at only one point, so the number of points of intersection is only 1. And then PQ, this particular, when the straight line is touching the circle at one point only, then it is known as the tangent. This is the straight line PQ which intersects the circle at two different points, so definitely the point of intersection will be 2, and this particular picture is known as the secant. So I hope you understand that in case of tangent, the number of point of intersections is 1, and in case of the secant, the number of point of intersection is 2. Okay, I hope that's clear from this table. That's all you have to learn about the basic terms of the circle, that what is a tangent and what is a secant. Let's have a look on certain theorems. There are only two theorems of this chapter. So let's begin our theorem number 10.1. So this is entirely theoretical based theorem. This is a theoretical theorem. There is no need to prove anything. This is just a theory. So the tangent of any point in the circle is perpendicular to the radius through the point of contact. So basically we have to prove that the tangent which is drawn to the circle at any point is perpendicular. It means we have to prove that, to prove is OP is perpendicular to XY tangent, right? So let just this be a circle. Obviously the tangent will be something like this. I'm so sorry, you just have to intersect the tangent at one point to the circle, right? So let's just intersect it and you will find, oh my lord, just touch it like this. You can draw the tangent. I hope that's clear now. So this is a particular tangent with x and y tangent. Okay, and this particular circle with the center O, and there is a line which is present on this tangent as P. Now what you have to do is you have to prove that this OP angle, this angle is 90 degree. You have to prove, right? What you will do is, to prove this, let Q be any point on XY. Let the Q be any point on XY such that then you have to join this OQ with the dotted line. Suppose it touches the circle. Now obviously OQ will be larger than OP. Why OQ will be larger than OP? It is because in the OP is the radius of the circle, right? OP is the radius of the circle, whereas OQ is the line which lies outside the circle. Basically, OP is formed by the point O and P when P lies on the circle. OQ is the line which lies outside the circle because Q line outside the circle. So obviously the Q will be larger than OP. Right, same will be in the case of other points also. If we draw other points also, we can just prove them greater than radius, obviously. So it means OP will be the smallest side, and we always know that the smallest side which joins is always the smallest side is always the perpendicular side. I hope that's clear to you. Okay, is always the perpendicular one. So according to that, OP is a perpendicular line. It means angle OPQ is equals to 90, and hence prove that OP is perpendicular to XY or PQ. I hope that's clear to you that how we have proven that a particular radius which is drawn on the tangent is perpendicular to the tangent, right? Let's move ahead with another theorem, that is theorem 10.2. This is the most important theorem. We can say the most important theorem of this chapter. As this chapter has only 2 theorems, this is the one of the most important theorem. So basically, according to this theorem, let me tell you, this is a circle. Let's draw the 2 tangent to this circle. This is one tangent and this is another. So basically, let be any point, let it be any point, like this is O. So this, let this point be Q and let this point be R. Let it draw. Let this point be P and let it draw too. So according to this theorem, PQ will be PR when any external point. So in this particular case, P is the external point from the circle. When the 2 tangents are drawn from the external point of the circle, then in that case both of these tangents will be equal in length. So what you will do is, first of all you have to construct this OP line, join them. Now prove as PQ is a tangent. Okay, we know that tangent, the radius always makes 90-degree angle on the tangent, so this angle will be 90 and this angle will also be 90. So as PQ is a tangent, we can say that OQ is perpendicular to PQ, and as PR is also a tangent, we can say that OR is also perpendicular to PR. Now angle OQP will be 90-degree, so it is a right triangle, right? Similarly, PR is the tangent, so OR is also perpendicular to PR and it is also 90-degree. Now what we'll do is, in both of these triangles we have to prove them congruent, right? So if both of them they are 90-degree, this is the common side, and you can see these both are the radius. Radius are the lines which are drawn to the center to any point on the circle. This is also a radius, this is also a radius, this is also a radius. Any point, any line which is drawn from the center to the point on the circle is known as the radius. So by RHS congruency rule, we can prove that they both are congruent. So triangle POR is congruent to triangle POQ. Am I right? So by this we can just prove that PQ is equals to PR by CPCT. Am I right? CPCT, you can remind that CPCT is the congruent part of corresponding part of congruent triangles. This is what we called as the CPCT, right? If you don't know what is CPCT, please go through our website. You can have a look on the 9th class sessions and you will be getting a detailed explanation as well as PDF of the 9th class session, and you can easily understand the corresponding part of congruent triangles, that is CPCT, from that. When you will even look at the PDF only, then also you will be able to understand. And if you will be looking at the video, then it is like a cherry on the top, and you will be able to easily understand what is happening and all. Okay, so this is the theorem. So we have read two theorems. The first theorem is the one which suggests that then the radius is falls on this tangent and it is always perpendicular. And the second theorem, this says that whenever the tangents are drawn from the external point from the circle, then the two tangents will be equal in length. You can prove it by proving the two triangles to be congruent, and after proving congruent, you can just prove it by using the congruent part of corresponding part of the congruent triangles, or the CPCT. And by CPCT you can easily prove that both of the length of the tangents which are drawn from the external point are equal. So I hope both of the two theorems are clear to you. Let's have a look on them. What is a tangent, what is a secant? In this chapter you are not going to learn about the secant, but for the for the future purpose I'm telling you certain things, that is secant, tangent, okay, certain other things also I am telling you. So these are the things that you have to understand. What are they, how many points of intersection are there, how are they drawn, because in these questions sometimes the pictures are not given, so you have to draw the diagrams yourself. So only the statement is given. So when it is given that you have to draw the tangent, if you don't know that tangent is like this, how will you draw the tangent? You should know the basic, that what is the tangent, how it is drawn, number of point of intersections. Okay, these questions are not to be asked in any kind of MCQ or any kind of fill-ups, but these are just for the general purpose. When you have to draw the diagrams, you must know how the tangent is drawn, because sometimes in the pictures the tangent is not given, sometimes the diagrams are not given. So I hope it will be helpful for you people, right? So let's just start with the questions. This is a very small chapter, it includes only one exercise, so obviously it is not going to take much of the time to do this chapter, but I will try to make you understand completely, right? So let's just draw the picture like this. This is a triangle and there is a circle which is present inside this triangle, right? You have to draw the dotted lines from the corner of the triangle. This picture is already given, right? This figure is already given. Just draw this picture. Okay, now this is 6, this is also 6, this is 8, this is 8. Now you can see that in this particular circle, let A be the external point, so these two will be the tangents which are drawn. So obviously both of them will be equal. Since they are not given, let both of them be x. Similarly, if C is the external point, both of them will be equal, that is why both of them are 6. And since this is the external point, both of these tangents must be equal, so both of them are considered as 8, right? Now what we are given with, we are given that BD is equals to 8 equals to BE, and CD is equals to 6 equals to FC, right? AE and AF we consider as x centimeters, right? So this hole is already given, so let it be 14 centimeter. Let this whole side be x plus 6 and this whole be x plus 8 centimeters. I hope that's clear to you now. So basically you have to solve this question out. You have to find out the sides, right? What you will do is, first of all, if anybody of you remind the Heron's formula, Heron's formula is from class 9th chapter, Heron's formula. Here is this formula where you have to calculate the xs, which is the half of the parameter. So it will be somehow like 14 plus x plus 6 plus x plus 8 divided by 2. Right, you are getting 14 plus 14, 28 plus 2x, that is 14 plus x centimeter as the s. So just applying the Heron's formula, we get the area of ABC equals to root over s minus a. A was this side, that is a was your this side. Okay, let this be a, right? B is your this side and C is your this side. So when we just subtract this, we are getting x. When we subtract x plus 14 minus x, then we get 8, and here we are getting 6. So we are getting, like, after solving this, we are getting 48 x plus 14. This is the whole we are getting, right? So we have not left with any kind of space here, so that is why I'm just so basically also the radius of the circle is given as 4 centimeter, right? So I'll just doing this question at the end, so you can please have a look on the end, right? So area of, if we are back to the question, if we are considering this particular thing, that area of ABC will also be equals to this area, and this area. This is O, so OAB, OBC and OAC, right? So area of ABC will be equals to area of OAB plus area of OBC plus area of OAC, right? So what you will do is half into base was AB, right? Height was, since the circle's radius is 4, that was why the height is considered as 4. In all the cases the radius was 4, that is why the height will be considered as 4. So it will be like AB, what was AB? We have considered AB as, this was AB was C, BC was A, AB was C, okay. So AB was C, so we can write it as 2C, BC was A and this was B. Am I clear by this? We have just write the forms in which we have considered our sides. So we can just write as like this, and we can just take 2 as a common term, and we can write A plus B plus C. Now we know that S is equals to A plus B plus C by 2 by Heron's formula. So S basically A plus B plus C is equals to 2S and 2S. So it is 2 into X plus 14, right? So we can just write it as 2 into X plus 14, and also the 2 is already present here, so multiplied by 2, so it will be like 4x plus 14. Okay, let's have a look again on the question to make you remind. So 4x plus 14, and it was root 48x 14 plus x. So since both of them are the areas, we can just keep them equal. 48x x plus 14 equals to 4x plus 14. Remove the square root, it will be get squared, and you will be getting 16x plus 14 whole square. This will be cancelled out by this. You will be getting, this will be cancelled out by this. You will be getting 3x equals to x plus 14. Am I right? And after solving this, we are getting 2x equals to 14 and x equals to 7 centimeters. Right. So by this we have considered, this was our picture, this was our x plus 6, this was our 14, and this was x plus 8. So this particular side x plus 6 was considered as 13 centimeter, and this particular will be considered as 15 centimeter. I hope that's clear that how you have to solve these types of questions. So I'll be writing here that on page number 8 you will be getting the continued version of this question, right? Now look at the another question. A quadrilateral ABCD is drawn to some circumscribe. What do you mean by circumscribe? When a quadrilateral has a circle inside it, then we called it as a circumscribe. So this is a particular quadrilateral, let it draw in any shape. This is just a quadrilateral, right? So these I have made just a rough picture because the picture is very much clear in the question, so you can have a look there too. I have drawn the picture for myself only. So prove that AB plus CD is equals to AD plus BC. This is AB, this is CD is equals to AD plus BC. So by this picture we know that if we consider D as the external point, then DR is equals to DS. Then if we considered A, then AP is equals to AS. If we consider B, then BP will be equals to BQ. If we consider C, then obviously it will be CQ equals to CR. Now what you have to do is add all the equations. In that case you will be getting DR plus AP plus BP plus CR equals to DS plus AS plus BQ plus CQ. So what you will be getting is CD plus AB is equals to AD plus BC. and hence we are proved with the question. This is very easy one, and you will somehow sometime you will just replace the places. You will write as here and ap because it is just the mindset of the person how to write it. But since we know that in these type of questions we have to add, always make sure that last term of these two they will generally be with e only at one side. It means like dr is present, then you have to write cr on this side only so that they will be added. For example, if we write CQ here, then dr plus CQ will not be anything, right? That is why we are writing like this, so that it will be very easy and helpful for us to write like this. Am I clear? Moving ahead with the last question from the circles, we have a parallelogram ABCD. This is a particular parallelogram. You have to prove that it is a rhombus. Okay, a parallelogram is given and you have to prove that it is a rhombus. It has circumscribe a circle present inside with the center O, right? P, Q, R and S, they are the points which are generally colliding the quadrilateral with the circle, right? First of all, we just draw the point like this. Okay, now we'll just, these are the these are the radiuses as well as tangents. So what you will do is in triangle ORC, we will consider triangle ORC. So this is ORC, this is the particular triangle ORC. Let's just shade with some another color to avoid the confusion. This is triangle ORC and the another one is your triangle OSA. This is your triangle OSA. Okay, so in these particular cases you can see that in both of these cases, angle ORC is equals to angle OSA. Why is it so? It is because this is a radius and these are the tangents. So from theorem 10.1, these will be perpendicular, right? Then OC and OC, okay, we can say that OC is equals to OA. Why? Because both of them, they are the radius to the circles, right? And then we can just say that OR is also equals to OS. Okay, OR is equals to OS. This is OR and this is OS, they are also equal to the radius. So by RHS congruency rule we can prove that triangle ORC is congruent to triangle OSA. So by CPCT we can say that AS is equals to RC. Okay, AS is equals to RC, and since we know from theorem 10.2, D is the external point, that is why AD will be equals to, or DR will be equals to DS. Since both of them are the tangents from external point, their length will be equal. Let's add both of them. So that is why I was telling you, you can see the DS and AS, they are like this. So you can just write it like DS is equals to DR. So that too you can easily add them. AS plus DS is equals to DR plus RC. You will be getting AD is equals to CD. Now you know it is a parallelogram, so AB is equals to CD already, right? Since it is a parallelogram, and AD is equals to BC. AD is equals to BC, and AD is also equals to CD from the proved one, and BC is also equals to AD, right? BC is equals to AD already, CD is equals to AB. So by this, AB will be equals to BC will be equals to CD is equals to AD. Hence, the given parallelogram is a rhombus. I hope that's clear to you. This is the questions for the circle. This is the question number first. We have we have tried, or we have just like we performed. So these are the questions, and here is the last summary that I always give in the last of the chapter. So this is just a short summary, as this chapter is also very small. So first of all, you have to be very careful about the tangent secants, right? Second of all, you have to be careful about theorem number 10.1, which suggests that the radius drawn on circle on tangent is perpendicular to it. Okay, Now our third important thing is theorem 10.2. The tangents from the external point are equal in length. This is how you have to solve the question. These are the important things that you should know. What are these? Also, I am writing at the end that tangents are important in this chapter. One intersection point only. How they are drawn? They are just drawn like this. This is the tangent, and I'm sorry, my picture is not much clear, but it is like this. This is a tangent, this is PQ, and this is a circle O. So PQ is tangent, right? Am I clear with this? So that's all with our chapter number 10, that is circles. I hope you people understand that what is a circle, what are the tangents, what is the theorems. It is just a very small chapter, and in our upcoming classes we are discussing the about the mensurations, and in the geometry we are also left with the construction part, right? Then we are also going to study something very new, that is trigonometry, in this particular class, and that I'm going to take after this particular unit. When we will be done with this unit number 4 on geometry, then we will be going to start with our next unit, trigonometry, having 2 chapters. So that will be very important for you people to understand, because it is the base of entire class 11th and class 12th, and also the college part. So I hope you people will pay attention, and that's it for the circles. And in case of any queries, you can just let us know by commenting down. So thank you for watching, and have a very lovely day.